What is up, everybody? Happy 2018. This is our first show of the year. We are back at it. We're going to be talking about H&M's racist ad and a lot more on Black Hollywood Lives this week.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live this week.
We came in on some real R&B. I don't even know, like, this like you gotta do the old school. You gotta do the 90s.
1991.
I
have to be watching you guys.
You gotta do the 90s.
And I'm saying you dripping in finesse, girl. Dripping in finesse.
I see you. Wait. Hold on. I can do that.
See, you gotta bring it.
Trey trying to get the. Trey's like, well, I'm gonna lead into it. Oh, you took it back with that.
I don't know what you're doing.
Got a little Bruno Mars finesse. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Black Hollywood Lives this week. As I just said, it's our first show of the year.
Welcome
I'm
back.
mad hyped to be here.
I'm excited.
We got a lot of new people on the panel today. Well, Jesse is not here. He's working for 4 weeks on the four.
That comes on tonight.
That comes on tonight, so check it out. I heard it's a great show.
Yes, it is.
But Courtney Stewart is back with us today.
Hello,
giving
guys.
her
I'm back.
black sexy goddess today, I see.
That's right, y'all. I
bring
did
it
that
for
on
2018.
purpose. Yes.
Black and powerful.
We got our girl, Camilla Poindexter.
Hello, everybody. Happy
Looking beautiful.
2018. Thank you.
You know, you got your
You know, I got my gold nails. I got my double back and eyelashes.
Yeah, you bringing the
popping.
glam today to the studio.
Yes, and my red lip.
And you're going to catch her soon on her new show on BHL, too.
Yes,
so.
coming soon.
Coming soon. And our very special guest today, we've had him on BHL before, but, you know, we can only have him on certain times because he's always busy, you know, producing,
working hard.
filmmaking, you know, creating new talent opportunities. Our boy Trey Haley's in the house.
Welcome back.
Thank you for coming back in.
Appreciate you for bringing me in, man. I'm excited. Always good to be Black Hollywood Live.
That's right. You wore your black shirt for Black Hollywood Live.
We all came in uniform except Camilla.
I know. I didn't get the memo. You know, I
Tried
just had to be different.
You know, them light-skinned folks, you know.
You know, we got a little different. We cut from a different cloth. You know what I mean?
I love my light-skinned folks, by the way. All right, so you know I'm going to get in trouble by saying it.
I know you do,
Look,
Derrial.
I just said it. Don't you start. Here we go. Here we go. We back at it, y'all. Let's go. All right. Courtney, what
We
you got?
are back at it, and I have the stories because Jesse's not here, so I gotta take it off at the top. We're gonna celebrate and be super excited because I don't know where y'all been. I don't know if y'all prepared. I don't know if you got your outfits, but y'all, Black Panther is coming soon to a theater near you on February 16th. And not only is it coming soon, y'all, they already released some tickets. And apparently, the Black Panther love is so strong that Black Panther has broke all the records for Marvel movies and in terms of pre-sales, and everybody was like, wait, what? What? You can't get tickets for some of the opening shows already. So if you ain't got your ticket already, you might need to look for a smaller theater, maybe not with all the extra, I don't know what you call that stuff, DMDX, Super Sound, Browntown, whatever. You're going to have to go to like the little theater
IMAX.
if you want to go that first weekend because the tickets have sold out. And if y'all don't know what Black Panther is and you watching this show, I ain't gonna judge you. I'm gonna just let you know that it's a Marvel movie. It's got all black folks in it. Chadwick Boseman's in it. My
Angela
baby
Bassett.
daddy, Michael B. Jordan, is in it.
Angela
Wait a
Bassett.
minute.
Angela Bassett.
Lupita.
Oh my God, Lupita's in it.
In fact, Lupita said she just did was it a tweet or a Facebook Live where she said she tried to get tickets and she couldn't even get tickets.
She couldn't even get tickets, y'all. It's sold out.
Sold out.
And I want to give a shout out to a man by the name of Frederick Joseph who launched a GoFundMe in New York because he wanted to bring some of the black children at the Boys and Girls Club to, you know, get a ticket and be able to go see the movie because he thinks it's very important for the culture, and it is.
sweet.
And he set a goal to raise $10,000. He's raised almost $30,000 already. So he'll get all the tickets. The kids gonna get some snacks at the movie theater, and whatever money's left over is going to go to the Boys and Girls Club in Harlem.
And Fandango said that it smashed the ticket site's records for a Marvel movie pre-sale
ever, yeah.
ever. I mean, just ever, you know. And I mean, this is what the most anticipated black movie probably of all time.
I think it's the most anticipated movie. We ain't gonna call it just a black movie because it's for everybody.
It is, but I gotta take in the black cast and the black theme and I want to own that too.
I own that too.
You know what I'm saying? I want to own that too.
I believe and I receive that also, but I mean, just like we all of color go and see these movies with all these white folks in it.
I feel you.
The white folks need to go and see it. It's not, because when you say black movie, they be like, oh, it's one of them, like,
Right,
you know,
right.
it's a Medea movie or something like that only the black people
we
want to
love
go
Medea
see.
movies.
We love them, but I'm just saying people will put them in that box.
Right.
If they're not. This ain't a black movie. It's a dope action
I give
comic
you that.
book movie that everybody should see because it's great, not because it's,
I feel you on that.
you know.
Trey, are you excited to see it?
I remember seeing the trailer of it. I think it was sometime last year during the NBA.
Oh yeah, the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
And I was walking by the screen when the trailer came on. I was like, and I stopped. And then after the trailer came on, I sat down. I said, I'm sorry. I know we're watching this game, but I got to see this
that
one more
again.
time.
Right. Gotta see it
because
again.
I haven't seen something like this that got me this excited since coming to America or something
Wow.
like that. Like,
You took it back to like
Yes.
86 up in
but
the
like,
back.
you know, where you see something and
And
you're
you're
like,
that hype, yeah.
what am I looking at?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was like an experience for me, and I've been following this thing ever since, and it looks amazing. It looks amazing.
Can't
It looks
wait.
amazing. So get your outfits, get your tickets,
Are we gonna
get your
go
cousin.
Can we go? Can we get? Can we?
I will go. Can we? I need some people to go because I got a lot of friends. That
I am sure that
I'm
we
down to
probably
go.
will be covering the carpet. So.
Well, my next was gonna be. Can we go to the premiere?
Well, let me work on that. Let me work on that.
Come on,
We
bro.
get this nice little black
Make it
dress
happen.
going on.
Yeah, let's-
I'll put on something
yeah.
little and cute and everything. I'll even work the carpet if you need me to.
Wow. You must really want to go there because I ain't normally the answer. I hit Courtney up like, can you do this carpet for me? Sorry, nah, I can't do it. Nah.
Courtney's
Nah, I
not
got
a fan of the red
I got
carpetness.
plans. Sorry, nah.
Not a fan of red carpet. Well, we're going to move on, though, because considering not being a fan of certain things, there's somebody that is not a fan of something that most of the country seems to be perfectly fine with at this point, and that man's named Jeff Sessions. And if y'all don't know who he is, you've been under a rock, too, but he's the Attorney General and getting on everybody's nerves, including my own. So over the holiday, he basically... Y'all know that, you know, marijuana has been made legal in I think it's 9 states across the country. And in 29 states, it is legal for medicinal purposes. Because somebody figured out, ooh, we can use this for medicine. What a concept.
My back.
Okay, well, we sort of accepted that that's kind of like the trend, and we're all moving in the direction of legalization, sort of, even though there's people that are kind of fighting it still. Well, Jeff Sessions not only fighting it, he's just putting a big old brick wall up because the federal government obviously has not passed a law saying it's okay. So one of the challenges is if it's legal in your state, but the federal government doesn't think it's legal, the federal government can still come after you.
Right.
So they've had previously, as it has become legalized in different states, they've had a hands-off policy at the Justice Department. Well, little Jeff Sessions decided, well, I don't like this, and people that smoke marijuana are all going to be drug addicts and die. And he decided he wanted to enforce all the rules on the books about marijuana and treat it like a drug, just like heroin, cocaine, and everything else. And he has encouraged all of his prosecutors and everybody to go after marijuana incidences with full force, even though we don't legalize it in all these states.
Yeah.
And he thinks that's a great idea. But the thing that's really interesting about this is something that many of us may not know. Last year, the FDA approved a synthetic THC drug.
Like fake weed.
Fake weed, y'all.
Wow.
And there is a company that has full control of this particular drug, and they are the only company allowed to make it, and they have full power and control over what price it should be, and it is to be used for cancer patients for, you know, different, but the biggest thing is that it helps cancer patients when they're going through chemotherapy, getting rid of nausea and things like that. And so this company, which is, I believe, in Arizona, as soon as I find the name of it, okay, the name of the drug is called Dronabinol, and it was also known as Syndros. And the company is it's called Insys. And basically, they can put the price of the drug at any place they want it to be because they're the only company that's allowed to sell it. And right now, it's ranging from about $1,000 to $2,000 for a monthly supply.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's still $2,000
That's still a
a
lot.
month.
I mean,
Y'all
yeah,
pretty sure
that
you can get
is
a cheap
right.
dime bag somewhere.
Right.
But anyway.
I'm done.
So anyway, this company, they have sole control over this, and in November, they released that this drug will be considered a Schedule II drug as opposed to a Schedule I drug, which makes it fully legal to be used. It's considered medicine. It's for medicinal purposes. And therefore, the DEA can go after all these little marijuana dispensaries that's selling, you know, regular, you know, marijuana that you grow in your backyard, but
They can't.
Insys can produce and sell their synthetic THC drug.
That's
freely.
crazy.
See, it gets really tricky when you're talking about marijuana because then you have like it's still a drug, but then you have it where it's legalized, but then on the other hand, it's still not legalized because they said, well, I read up, it said the Constitution was designed to protect the states and the people from Washington, D.C. to overreach and for every federal politician to swear oath to uphold it. So basically, they're setting us up.
Yeah, pretty much.
to let you. That's why somebody said, "Are you going to get you a weed card?" No, absolutely not.
It's definitely dangerous at this point now that he's put the Justice Department back in everybody's backyard.
Right. And I would just be afraid of them having that information.
Exactly.
On me,
like I'm not going down to the neighborhood and saying, "Hey."
But here's the thing, though: 64%. There was a poll that was done on Politico.com. So 64% of Americans support medical marijuana. In 1969, it was only 12% that supported medical marijuana. So you've seen how it grows. I think it should be moderated. You know what I mean? I think that you should be able to buy it if that is your choice, but you should it somehow should be moderated. Because my only fear is like younger kids just overusing it. But on the flip side, they're going to be able to get it anyway. So if we kind of keep it under control in some regard, I think it's fine. But that's because I hear now that you're eventually going to be able to go to like CVS and Walgreens and buy a lower dose and Ralph's and buy like a just like you go get Flonase, you will be able to go buy this. Or if you need like how they do Sudafed D, the special strength, you have to get it from the pharmacy. You may have to go get it from the pharmacy. I think those are ways that honestly you can moderate it, but. It's a fine line because it's like I also feel like we're putting a lot of this tax money into all these programs to stop it and everything, and it's out there now. It's just let it be out there. Just control it a little bit.
Well, they are controlling it. That's kind of the point.
No, but I mean control it in the sense of
the amount that's being distributed.
The amount that's being distributed, because this synthetic, to me, that's like some type of like.
Something else
weird,
to get you having some other type
governmental.
Well,
that's the point.
Conspiracy.
It's the pharmaceutical lobby.
Once again, but then how does that? What is it going to? How is it going to affect other people from not? What the pro is. What's the con? Anytime you create something man-made, it always has a con.
Right.
Which the FDA has proven they don't really care about the con.
But then that's what a lot of people are not aware of. They're like, oh, it's the FDA. They are watching out for the consumer and making sure what we're getting and what they're putting on shelves is something more.
FDA approves half the food you eat at fast food restaurants.
Exactly.
What the hell?
Yes.
It's so funny because it's like I've never heard from my experience of doing the paper. No one has ever died off of marijuana. Yeah.
I've never. I mean, I had to look at statistically.
Has there any statistically
the problem with marijuana in America is it's connected to a lot of elements that sometimes the government likes to put like a negative connotation to. But yet, when you go across these borders and marijuana is legal, the crime rate and all of this is 10 times.
You too damn tired to go fight somebody or kill somebody, especially if you take a what's the difference of the what's the two different types? It's the sativa and
indica.
Indica. The indica gives you the energy, right? Sativa gives you the makes you sleepy.
I don't know the difference.
No, the sativa gives you the
Our expert in the booth.
So the sativa is more of a head high and it keeps you more energized and it's more like rapid fire thoughts in your head. And the indica is more of a body high.
All right.
Yeah, indica is more of a body high and it increases your appetite as well.
Oh, okay.
From the expert. See, we have experts.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You don't just get entertainment news. You get, your ganja news.
You gotta
as
get
well.
your information.
Yeah, and there's like a little difference between the THC and then the CBD, which is like the CBD is more beneficial.
That's what my friends
like
do.
seizure patients and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing I can think of, thank you for that, Anthony, by the way, for the people who did not know, because that is very, informative. Now, I could see how the government may try and say that the cause of, say, someone smokes and then they get behind the wheel and they get into a car accident. Yeah. That's, or some type of accident like they, fall or whatever that may be and hit their head.
Have you seen the billboards? I mean, not the billboards, the
on the
it doesn't say drive drunk, it says don't drive high.
Yeah.
Drive high.
Well, it says driving high.
Drive high, get a DUI.
Get a DUI.
Yeah.
I actually saw that over New Year's and I was like, whoa, hey.
Yeah.
I said, what happens to the drink and drive? Okay, no high.
No high. Well, regardless, I encourage everybody to pay attention.
Yeah.
do anything while driving.
Don't do it. That's number one. You're right. Don't do nothing while driving. Don't do none of that while driving.
Pick up your phone. You know,
We're not encouraging any of that, but I do want to encourage everybody to pay attention because it is not a coincidence that that drug was approved in May. It was moved to Schedule 2 in November, and suddenly after that, Jeff Sessions is saying, guys, we're going to fully enforce those marijuana laws and get people put behind bars. And for all the people in, like, I believe in California, we a lot of people that were put in jail for different marijuana offenses were able to submit some kind of appeals for their cases. Who knows how that's going to affect their cases if federal prosecutors are allowed to step in.
I think that's a big piece of it.
Right, and do you not remember the fact that our jails are already oversaturated
like,
and
the people
overbooked,
that have
and all that
marijuana
money
come
is being spent for that, and
Don't
Obama
get
was
me
already trying
started on
to
that.
change some things up, but I know
we need a slave labor population within the country,
Yes,
but
we
we won't talk about that. But we're going to move on. We're going to move on to the next story.
Look, we can talk about this topic all day.
Right. Well, this topic we've been talking about, since last year, since all the horrific allegations started coming out, starting with Harvey Weinstein and a plethora of others that came after. So the hashtag MeToo movement has been obviously in the news and all over social media. And even last week at the Golden Globes, it's like moved to the next level with the Time's Up, hashtag Time's Up movement. So they're actually, people are actively trying to make changes in the way that we do business, especially in Hollywood and eventually, hopefully, across the country in all businesses. But there are some ladies that are detractors for the Me Too movement. It's interesting because the Me Too movement has moved overseas. It's a global movement. People are paying attention. And over in France, some ladies got a little upset with the Me Too movement, and they basically did an open letter in Le Monde, which is the newspaper over there, and a prominent French actress, Catherine Deneuve. She's a little bit older. She's, I believe, in her 70s.
70s, I think
now.
she's like 73-ish.
So they put this open letter. I'm going to try real hard not to laugh because this is serious, but some of the language of this letter just had me like, girl, what? So here's some of the language in the open letter, and it will sort of explain their position as to why they think that the Me Too movement is problematic. The Me Too campaign they are saying it patronizes women and summarily punishes men for minor misdeeds, which only plays into the hands of quote, Puritans. Quote, men have been punished summarily, forced out of their jobs when all they did was touch someone's knee or try to steal a kiss. Instead of helping women, this frenzy to send pigs to the abattoir actually helps the enemies of sexual liberty, religious extremists, and the worst sort of reactionaries. It is the characteristic of Puritanism to borrow, in the name of so-called general good, the arguments of the protection of women and their emancipation to bind them to the status of eternal victims, poor little things under the influence of demon patriarchy, as in the good old days of witchcraft. Wow. So she signed this letter. She was like, that's what I feel. A bunch of other women, they were a little over, it was a few hundred women at this point. They've signed this letter saying that the Me Too movement is actually not very helpful to women, and all we're doing is severely punishing men who haven't done much wrong. And the letter concludes by saying, rape is a crime, but insistent or clumsy flirting is not, nor is gallantry a macho aggression. Nor is gallantry a macho aggression. A healthy society, men should have the indispensable freedom to offend and bother women. Now, as strange as it kind of sounds, some of what she said is not far from some things I've heard out of other women's mouths in this country in terms of women feeling like, yes, okay, the Me Too movement, women do need to speak up. And let's put it out there right now. I don't believe anybody so far as being like, oh, rape is not a thing. When it's rape, it's rape, But there's people that I've had conversations with, or women that I'm like, really? And they're like, well, I mean, if you don't, where do you draw the line? Who gets to decide, and why all these women get to just say this stuff about these men, and we're immediately punishing these men and pushing them out of their jobs and doing whatever, and there's been no due process. There's been no proof that this happened, and why should they be able to do that? And then who gets to decide, is it just women that get to make these decisions, and blah, 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 blah.
Let's have this conversation.
And where's the line? Because what's too much flirting and touching, and where are all those lines? And then I got yelled at on Twitter because I was like, I wonder, that letter made me think, does this Me Too movement / Time's Up movement place men in a precarious position? And then I got yelled at over Twitter, like, well, if they're not doing anything wrong, then they don't have anything to worry about. But
no,
that's not entirely accurate.
Like, you can come in here and just like how you came in, introduce yourself, I gave you a hug, put my hand on your shoulder or your leg. You could say that's sexual harassment on my part, you know? So it's just a fine line.
It's such a fine line.
Because I'm such a friendly person, my personal self. It's like, when I meet people, I hug people.
Yeah.
Some people don't hug people. Some people think it's weird, you know? But coming from my family, we hug people. I love you. You know, we go in and out of the house. But some people find that a sexual harassment, like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can you sit here and say, oh, I sexually harassed you just because I had a conversation? All I thought was I was talking to you, you know? Right. Now you taking it as far as, like, out of context and saying that I tried to molest you. It's just, it's crazy. Because I've gotten people that done things to me, and it's like, I know this is sexual harassment.
Yeah.
But did I tell them, oh, this is, no. Because to me, at that moment, it didn't feel like I was threatened or felt like I was just like, oh my God, he's going to rape me.
Yeah.
So where do you know?
It's a fine line.
Then it's like, oh, I wanted the job, but he didn't give it to me, so now he sexually harassed me.
Right. I mean, it's like kind of what you just said. It's the proof that's involved. I mean, obviously, unfortunately, this Me Too movement needed to happen because if a man or woman, but a man is making any woman feel less than or sexually harassed, he should be completely punished for that. I fully believe that. Now, the fine line is the fact of where is, a lot of, it's just like Netflix is going through it. Danny Masterson, a couple executives were fired from Netflix after Danny Masterson's case of 5 women, I think, or around 5 women have reported that he had raped them. And a Netflix employee was at his daughter's soccer game and was approached by one of the victims, which he didn't know was a victim at the time. And she said, why is Netflix still having ties with Danny Masterson? And he said, basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said, listen, we don't know that the victim's telling the truth in a nutshell. Right. And he didn't know that was the victim. The victim took that and he got fired, and it's like a fine line. It's like those things are happening. Like a lot of people are being let go of their jobs. Now, if you do something, if you're Harvey Weinstein and, I hate to say it, but Russell and all these other people, you should go down. But on the flip side, I'll use Russell as an example. Russell has taken a lie detector, right? A polygraph.
But you can pass those, right?
And he passed those. He has said that none of these incidents were rape, okay? He's being blasted, which he should be if he did it, but where is the how do we really know that these things happen? So they're calling this and I can see this word being used, is a witch. They're saying it's a witch hunt against men because you've got men shook now. But then what's the end result going to be? Every man loses his job. What do you want at the end? But I understand you want to change, but what is the end goal and how is this going to be moderated and controlled? Because it could be anyone just coming in saying whatever, and then. I don't think that every man is guilty. Do I think a lot of them are? Sure, but I need proof. I also need proof. Anybody can say anything. I've seen people say stuff about people that wasn't true. We see it all the time.
But I think you just answered your own question, sort of, because something like rape, even sexual harassment, for the most part, is a he said, she said situation. The problem in our culture is that we've always taken the he said as truth
right.
over the she said.
Yeah.
So right now, we are only taking the she said, for the most part, as proof. And I think that the end all of that, or this situation, will be the fact that the she said is finally being given credence and support, that there will come a time where we actually listen to both. And then we weigh and determine with a much more even sort of attitude about both. But coming into all of this, the she said was like here, and the he said was always up here. The burden of proof was on the she said, and it's not fair that that ever existed, because the burden of proof should be on both ends at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's a he said, she said situation.
But then it goes, and I want to hear what you have to say, Trey, but then it goes to the fact of what Camilla was just saying. I think about it all the time now. I'm more conscious of it. I walked in here, and one of our employees, Bree, I said hello to her, and I kissed her on her cheek, and before I knew it, I got nervous. Right. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, but you kissed me, and you didn't get nervous?
No, but I mean, I get nervous with you too. I've said this to you. I was like, we joke about a lot of stuff, and now I just feel those things are. I'm nervous to say anything, and which I should be, but on the flip side, it's like, what's the difference of flirt? Like, if I kiss you on your cheek, or that's a difference to me if I say hello to you versus me patting you on your lower back.
Right.
I mean, that's you come bring me my phone or a piece of paper and I pat you on the butt. That's different,
Look at that ass.
Right? And I ain't gonna say that. So but what do you think about this, Trey? Because you work in the industry as well. You know, you're around a lot of actresses, and where do you think that this fine line is going to be, and what do you think the end result's going to be? Do you think that this is something that is a hot button right now, and it's just going to kind of fade out, or is this something that's going to change the game entirely for entertainment?
It's totally going to change it. My business partner, Indy Brown, is a woman who's over, my business partner who we created our company together. And I can tell you, me and her were talking about this, and even set etiquette. I mean, you have to have a conversation because there's a lot of loose conversation between the crew and hair and makeup. I've walked into hair and makeup before, and the conversations get real loose.
Hair and makeup is real.
That's the tea right there. I like the hair and makeup.
Exactly.
That's where the juice come out.
But you have to. It has to be on all. Everybody has to play right now because you don't know who. It's all perspective. One person says something, nobody cares. Another person says something, they get bothered by it. And it could be the same conversation, just how somebody feels about it feels different. So, I'm gonna be honest with you. It makes me, as a director, I'm a very friendly person on set. Hey, how you doing? And I'm just like that to everybody. Right. Now I just have to. I feel like a handshake is just all I can give right this second.
Or like, it's almost like a, hey, how you doing? I catch you later.
Because you don't want to have anybody misconstrue any moment based on something now because of the heightened
sensitivity of it.
Sensitivity of this, and even taking it back to some of these accusations aren't even when you're leveraging your power over people and making and that's a whole nother conversation, how a lot of times men do leverage themselves, putting women in awkward positions, and they play a fine line with that. But what's the difference between that and in the workplace, whether it's in the entertainment business, any corporate, whatever, what if there is a mutual attraction? Or a man is being he's pursuing someone. I know people who somebody said no the first time somebody asked them out, and now they're married. And they say, oh well, I like him. I think that's out the door too. The persistence is about to be out the door. The chase is the new generation. It already switched. Well,
anyway. I think persistence went out the door when we started doing swipe to the right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But now,
don't tell me that.
But now it's truthfully out. And now there could be, everybody has to be fully aware of the change that's truly going to happen. And men, I know plenty of actor friends that I have, male friends, that they're like, oh, it's here now. How you doing? Like, I don't even want to touch you. I don't even want to, no. It's hello, how you doing? Right. Nice to see you. And it's robots now, It's robotic. Everything is robotic.
It sucks, because I'm such a loving person. Like, what is that for me? For the person, I like hugs.
Yeah.
I like to get energy. I like to feel the, You guys
fellas, stay away from Camilla.
No, I think it's true.
Stay away from Camilla.
It's rough though. I think for actors, it's really rough because actors, especially you going into an audition, to be able to touch someone before, if you're about to do a scene together or whatever, but it's helpful. It's an exchange of energy and I get it. We're going down to the minutia of I don't want to diminish the awfulness that exists and has existed for many of years. But human contact is something that we've been talking about is even growing in problematic situation now because we always own our phones and we're doing this and it's scary. Obviously I just think we're going way far to one side and we'll eventually come back to a more moderate I think it's situation.
But it has to the sensitivity level, everybody needs to put it into perspective. This is happening so that now that people are aware, it can create change and create a tone of a different conversation that happens among everybody so that we can all understand the game we're playing with here. And because there are people who can take advantage of MeToo because they didn't like something that didn't happen in their career. And they can say, you know what, I got something for you. Because, so you got to be careful with these.
I think that's where the witch hunt term is being
used. When is it going to be where a woman comes in, not a woman, a man comes and says, hey, she's sexually harassed.
See, that's where I think that the turnaround is going to be. It's interesting that you said
I just had that conversation today.
I just had that conversation too.
I was like, you know, it's going to come a time where it's going to be a man that comes and says, you know what, told me to suck, or she'll, you know.
Put me in a compromising
to put me in,
position,
you know, to get the movie or whatever.
Absolutely. Or they
What's
felt,
gonna happen then?
you know, that the woman was aggressive towards them in some form of a way.
It's gonna be like, a woman's gonna be like, oh my God, I didn't know I was being that aggressive. But I've been on set where women directors are very intense.
Me too. Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, ooh, you worse than the guy director. You know,
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You worse than the guy director.
No,
artists are intense.
I mean, artists are intense.
Yes,
but I honestly agree with you, Camilla. I think that's going to be a next wave of it. You know, if we don't cap it in some form of a way.
For sure.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
All right. Well, is that all you have for us today, Courtney?
That was a lot.
That was a lot.
I'm like, all right,
listen, we got a lot to say. We haven't been back in like a month. You know, I know that was a lot. Okay, we're gonna move on to our EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
All right, I need to regroup after that conversation. Wait, are we doing H&M or are we going to Oprah?
Why do you not know?
Because he had Oprah up. He had Oprah up there, but I was on H&M.
I had to
Let's
get
do
off the
H&M.
internet.
Pretty sure it was
H&M.
It's H&M. All right, so we're gonna kind of shift the conversation a little bit. H&M, which I shop at a lot. In fact, this jacket is H&M.
How dare you?
I know. I purchased it before. So they have been in the news this week, obviously, because of an ad that featured a young black model with the caption of "Coolest Monkey in the Jungle." It was a green hoodie that the young model was wearing, and people went ballistic because obviously we know that we don't want no association of black people in the jungle, no monkeys, nothing like that. But the Swedish people who are operating H&M seem to not know that because this was presented on their online site. You could get the hoodie. They've recently apologized as a corporation. They've taken the hoodie off of their online site, and also you can't get the product anywhere. A lot of people also have been pissed off about this. So people have been hitting up, their Twitters, like Diddy and G-Eazy and LeBron James, Jesse Williams went in because people are just like, how do you not realize that black folks don't like any association of being up in the jungle? We may wear cheetah, but we ain't no cheetahs. So, there's a lot of uproar about this. Diddy has gone on to offer the young black model a $1 million contract with Sean John, which I have heard that he hasn't responded yet. His mom the model's mom has also been in the news because she thinks that this is a little bit over the top, and she doesn't like all the attention, the negative attention that it's getting. What do you guys think about all this stuff that's going on with H&M? And will you shop there ever again?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm shopping at H&M still, and it's not because of the ad. It's because one, it's reasonable, and two, they have nice little clothes for my daughter. And I'm not going out and buying Gucci and all of these other brands, so why not stick to H&M? I get it. It's that coolest monkey in the jungle. Okay, they call us monkeys all the time, right? We get it. We're not supposed to accept it. But I just feel like we did take it a little bit too far. I just feel like, I don't know, I don't want to see my child in no coolest monkey in the jungle. But I don't think that it should have been like so blown out of proportion. But I feel like we got so much to grow in this country as far as like racism and everything, that's one small thing that we deal with on a normal basis. Like, we always getting called monkeys and something. Like, why is it such a big deal today?
Right.
I just feel like we've been getting called this for so long, and we acting like we just don't know about it. Like, okay, the same person that's complaining about the coolest monkey ever is dating a white woman with kids. So you mad about, like, it could go so deep that I don't even want to speak on it.
Look, you just gave some tea, and we all had to try. We was like, okay.
And I'm just being, because it kind of touched me because I have my daughter, and I'm like, dang, would I get mad? And it's like, yes, I would get mad, but then it's like, okay, you got all of these other things going on in the world, and we going just so big on this coolest monkey in the fucking yard. Like, so much other things that are going on in the world that we could be focused on, and we worry about the little boy that clearly his mother didn't have a problem with it. Clearly the director of photography didn't have a problem with it. And I get it, but it's just a fine line again.
Well, I think I want to hear other people on the panel as well. I think that there should be I think it should be as they've done, let H&M know that this is not acceptable. from what I understand, I have a couple of Swedish friends, and some have worked kind of with H&M, and they said that, there's a fine line of what Americans and what Europeans consider racist and not racist, and Courtney's looking at me with the side eye, but this is, there are certain terms that are more racially toned in America than they are in other countries. Now, do I think that this being the coolest monkey in the jungle, I don't know how, when they were sitting in a room and they decided, hey, we're going to use this little black kid, how no one in that room knew or was aware that this is somewhat offensive or very offensive to people of color or African Americans, black people. I don't get that part. Do I think that it was something that they purposely did? I don't know if I think that they purposely did. I think that it was maybe an ignorant mistake. But that's just my opinion on it. Courtney, what do you think? Because you gave me the side eye when I was saying about the Europeans.
We've had this conversation a billion times before for other brands. Okay. My biggest issue came when I saw the full advertisement and there was a white child wearing a sweatshirt that said survival experts standing juxtaposed to the black child in this shirt.
Right.
Okay, this idea that calling black people monkeys is an American thing is not true. That's a global understanding.
No, that is definitely true, yes.
H&M has a responsibility as a global brand to check themselves in situations like this. And the fact that you didn't have anybody that caught that, is it minor? Are there bigger issues in the world? Absolutely.
Right.
Do black people that have little kids say, oh, you're a little monkey climbing all over? Maybe they do. I don't know. It may, in that regard, it may not be the biggest problem in the world, but H&M is a global brand and should have people from a business perspective that have the cultural awareness to know that this might be problematic, especially when they put the white kid right next to him with that sweater on. So I can't shop there because you're stupid, not because you put that shirt on that kid. It's because you didn't catch it enough to know, and maybe you didn't mean any harm. I would say that may be true on a surface level, but on a subconscious level, I think that we are fully aware of imagery and thoughts about other cultures and things like that, it's not fun. It doesn't bother us that we call black people monkeys anymore because we don't mean it. So maybe that's where you're at with it, and maybe you weren't consciously trying to offend every black person on the planet.
Sure.
Fine. But subconsciously, I think that we have things that are communicated to us with images, such as that we decide, it's not a big deal, it's acceptable, and it is a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it does matter. And the fact that it's in the back of our brains that people who are not of color would put that on somebody and think it was okay is proof that it needs to not happen.
Right.
We need to not continue to service out those images like it's okay. Just like I think right after this, Adidas or somebody had the black kid running with Predator written across the front, and he looks angry. It's like, and that was I think that was a United States ad.
It was, yeah.
And I mean, with black children being shot in the street for wearing hoodies and stuff like that, you have this intense image of a black man with Predator written on the front of it. You don't think that communicates something subconsciously to people? It does.
I don't think they think.
That's why. But it's their job to think. No, they do. But it's their job to think. And it's advertising. So to say that they don't think is bullshit, because advertising is all about psyche and all about understanding what changes people's minds and what makes people want to purchase things and what makes people want, that is the whole point of advertising.
Was it true that they went on an 80% sale? Somebody told me that they went on sale because
right after.
Well,
they snapped. They took it down.
They took it down pretty quickly because the heat.
Because I seen something like, not funny, but you know how they have memes on Instagram. They're like, all the black people are looking at each other at the register like, this 80% sale going on.
Right.
I say, you know what, I'm done with Twitter and Instagram today. But the funny thing is, this whole thing is like, I was offended when I did see, and you definitely, I'm a black American, proud black American woman at that. But the thing is, they have this other designer or label called Bathing Ape, right?
Right.
No one complains about Bathing Ape. It's a big ass black monkey, and black people wear it. So it's like, I just hate that they picking and choosing. Oh, okay, well, you put this on this person, but y'all wearing Bathing Ape with big monkeys on Adidas shoes.
I mean, that's a good point.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know who Bathing Ape is.
I don't know what it is.
So I have no idea what that's about.
Am I not right? The
you're
monkey is...
it is a pick and choose.
Is it a monkey and they wearing the monkey?
Yes, they wear
it. Well, if you choose to... But that's them calling him a monkey.
Right, that is,
I get a difference.
That would be like when people were wearing Paul Frank. Like, should you not wear Paul Frank shirts because there's a monkey on it?
Right. Yeah. There's a difference. You're right.
Like, so I don't know.
So
but like, I'm not. But
I feel what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Picking and choosing.
I'm just saying, if you don't want to be a monkey, don't put the fucking monkey shirt on. Right. Look at your black ass monkey. Right. Like, if somebody said that.
Right.
Excuse my language.
No, it's okay. You're allowed to cuss on this show. Trey, would you shop in H&M anymore?
You know what? I never thought about not shopping there or shopping there based on this. I mean, I've shopped there before.
But after
this, I will say I'm more aware of it. I mean, I think it just really comes down to what she said, cultural awareness. I feel like let's just put it this way. There's other cultures that they wouldn't make a shirt. They would be aware enough to not play into things with shirts on other cultures that they would be aware of. And that they would probably get their whole company shut down if it was, some Jewish joke that was put up there. You know what I'm saying? It would be unacceptable. Yeah. It would be a shutdown. And this is where I feel like the cultural awareness does need to come, because they feel like, it's nothing going to really happen if we do this, you know. And then I think that's what it really comes down to. And I do think that people are aware of other things that people do wear that people have not had a problem with, and they say, oh, well, people don't, they wear this, people wear this. And so, but you got to be aware, you got to have people in positions in corporate America, marketing teams that are aware all around of the sensitivity of different things, because obviously we can look at this, and African Americans, we know our buying power is supreme out here. You know what I'm saying? So you playing a fine line with us on this, but at the end of the day, people are going to still go back and shop at H&M, just like people shop at Target. People still shop at all the other stores that are still said stuff. But you know what it is? Just once again, as we were talking about with MeToo, it's awareness. Just people getting aware of. People are still very sensitive about these things, and especially with our children, because even though a child may not be aware of what that means for them, but like you did say, I will agree that there are people out there that they perpetuate a stereotype. Right. Unfortunately, to this day, which is the bigger problem. Like you said, they're continually using little signals, and that's the power of imagery. Imagery creates
sub-messages.
Yes, that's the power.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw the ad, I was pissed off. But then I was like, damn, I can't shop in H&M no more. I do a lot of red carpets. I'm like, I can go in there and get a little jacket, a little shirt for $30. I can't go to Barney's all the time and Bloomingdale's. I'm gonna be the guy at the mall who's gonna keep walking past H&M until I see like about 5 black people in there, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, well, we cool, we good now? No, I'm just playing. I'm good. I mean, it's gonna take me a while to go back in there, but am I gonna go in there probably again? I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm not. I mean,
it's kind of like Walmart.
It's that quick and buy. I buy quick stuff. Like if Dylan messes her shirt up while we're on the go, I'm like, ooh, $7.99 shirt, boom, boom, boom. Right. Yeah. It's not like I'll literally just go into H&M and that's my go-to store to shop, unless I'm going, like you said, red carpet, real quick, jewelry, little
stars. They have our souls by the balls by pricing.
Go to the lobby,
but that's America. That's America.
But I would have loved to have gone in H&M the day after this broke to see if like the first black person who went in there, like how they were shopping. They was probably looking at stuff like, let me not get myself on the camera over here.
So sad.
Can you imagine like you getting caught with your homegirl like?
Right.
Oh, no. You're not supposed to be in here.
You in H&M?
You just told me that you wasn't coming.
Right. You just was militant on Twitter, and now you in H&M? Oh, hell no.
It's a couple people like that.
Well, listen, at the end of the day, here's what the good thing that came out of this. One of the good things is the fact of, yes, it's going to cause more awareness, and it'll never happen again, I hope. And then the other thing is this little kid who probably was maybe a buyout for his little ad that he did for H&M is now getting offered $1 million, and he ain't 10 years old yet. So hopefully he accepts it.
Don't be playing with him. Get a boy his money.
Get a boy's money.
Sean John got baby clothes, little kid clothes.
They got everything. Diddy owns everything.
Look, Diddy still got his stuff going on because he wears suits. He got his suits going on. But the funny thing is Nordstrom's. Don't be playing. Don't make no mistakes. Nordstrom's. Yes. That's our store.
That's true.
Don't make no mistakes.
See, whatever.
Nordstrom's right.
That's why I've given up on whatever. I read that book last year and I'm messed up forever.
Which one?
Dark Money.
Let me write this one down. What is it about?
Girl, you're going to be real depressed. We'll talk about that.
All right. Okay. We're going to move on to someone else who's making the news this week. Oprah Winfrey. Because did you guys see her Golden Globe speech that she gave that has been, ever since she gave it, everybody's been talking about it? We have a little clip of it.
How beautiful she looked.
Bear with us for about a minute and 40 seconds because I want you guys to hear the intensity of the main part of the clip. All right.
Also know that it is the insatiable dedication to uncovering the absolute truth that keeps us from turning a blind eye to corruption and to injustice. To tyrants and victims and secrets and lies. I want to say that I value the press more than ever before as we try to navigate these complicated times, which brings me to this. What I know for sure is that speaking your truth is the most powerful tool we all have. And I'm especially proud and inspired by all the women who have felt strong enough and empowered enough to speak up and share their personal stories. Each of us in this room are celebrated because of the stories that we tell. And this year, we became the story. But it's not just a story affecting the entertainment industry. It's one that transcends any culture, geography, race, religion, politics, or workplace. So I want tonight to express gratitude to all the women who have endured years of abuse and assault because they, like my mother, had children to feed and bills to pay and dreams to pursue.
I think we can end it on that. I mean, that alone, I was at a screening for this and everyone was silent. I mean, because they were just in awe of her speech. Men, woman, didn't matter. And after this speech, people have been talking about Oprah running for president because, you know, we already love Oprah. You know, this is my baby mama in my dreams. That speech was powerful. And I think that right now everybody is just yearning for that type of world and speech to inspire us, and we're not getting that from our current president. So of course, Trump has challenged Oprah to the 2020 election because he was upset that people were, you know, saying Oprah should run for president. It all started after she gave her speech. There was a tweet from a third-party company that was working with NBC that tweeted out something in reference to Oprah for president. And his son got wind of it, and his son was upset because he was pissed off at NBC because he said, you know, why are they promoting Oprah for president? It's disrespectful with his dad being president. And then, you know, Trump challenged her and said that he would beat her in the 2020 election. Ivanka has gone on to tweet out something today that she, or not today, it was I think a day or so ago, that she got reamed about. It said, just saw Oprah's empowering, inspiring speech at last night's Golden Globes. Let's all come together, women and men, hashtag time up, hashtag united. And people not feeling Ivanka with this tweet. What do you guys think about her speech, first of all, and what do you guys think about her running for president? Because I don't think Oprah got time to run for president. She's too busy ruling the world, so I don't think she got time to run for president. But what do you guys think? Trey?
I think I would prefer, even though I feel like it would be a very powerful image, I feel like she can be more powerful not being the president than being the president. That's my personal opinion. Only because once you get into that world, you get locked into what you have to do. We saw it with Obama. It was so much he could do because it's not just you. You know, you got all these people around you, and then the power that she has, which could go for her, you know, be a pro for her running. But Republicans, Democrats, all types love this woman. Mm-hmm. Once she chooses a side, she loses a lot of this, you know, because now it's political and she's going to have to speak on things that she might not have ever voiced herself about. And now people may lose, you know, it's a fine line with that versus the power is in her hand and in her control completely, truthfully, the way she is right now. So I'm like 50-50 on it right now. But if she runs, I mean, I will tell you. I mean, I don't know who else is going to run. I mean, but, you know, I mean, I think she could be a formidable candidate.
I definitely think she can be a great candidate. Yes. I would love her for my president. I don't want Trump.
No, yeah.
But I think the speech is very powerful because, like, she's a woman, and a lot of people don't even, in these days and age, a lot of people don't give us the utmost respect as being women. And I just think that Oprah, I look up to her. I think she's amazing. I see her, like, just deal with so many different walks of life to where she seems like she's the same person to everyone. And I would just love to have her as a part of our country to bring us back to something like meaningful, you know. But as you said, I don't think that she would be able to do what she wants to do because she would be stuck into like a bubble of what they want her to do. So I think she does have more power not being a president. But she would be beautiful.
I waffle back and forth. Like after it happened, okay, I saw this meme after it happened that I was like, see, y'all don't know. So somebody posted a meme, I can't remember exactly what it said, but essentially it said, y'all need to stop acting like Oprah is y'all's mammy about to save y'all from the dumb shit y'all done by voting Donald Trump into office. And in that regard, I was like, that's right. Her calling is bigger than the president and all the mess that is Washington, D.C. right now. And she shouldn't have to come in and try to clean up that mess only for half of the people to start hating her and call out this, that, the other. But at the same time, Oprah seems to have exposed all of herself. So whatever horrible things she's been through or whatever, and can't tear her down because she's already put it out there for everybody to receive and accept and whatever. Yeah. So I think that maybe at this point in her career, it would be like the next level of her gift to the world to sort of bring us back to center. But at the same time, I'd rather her just run media companies and go win some Oscars and like continue to build and support whoever else would run. I think like people are talking about Kamala Harris and a couple other black women. Yeah, keep building schools and stuff like that, because I do think that going to DC would be
limiting,
very limiting. Yeah. But at the
in a different way.
In a different way.
It's like beyond anything anybody has ever seen in their life.
Yes.
But yet at the same time, like you said, it puts you in a box.
Puts you in a box.
Yeah. It puts you in a box.
Well, and also I think, you know, as great as she is, and I think she could do anything, I think whoever our next president is should also know a lot about just politics and the structure of our policies. I wonder about that. And, I would like that to be the person. I know we get excited on an image of someone, and in my mind the image of Oprah is genius as president. I don't know what she does or doesn't know about all these different policies that are going on, but on the flip side, we have Donald Trump who's president right now, and he surely doesn't know about the policies. So if he can do it, anybody can. But I agree with you guys a little bit more in the sense I think that what she's done for just African Americans and people of color as a whole as a media mogul, there's so much more she could do, and I feel like I would love for her to stay in that lane just because she's going to continue to build and bring in more educated people and bring in more people who can do bigger and greater things like she has, versus her being limited and stuck as a president figure, which we all know is pretty much just a figure, you know. But kudos to her, because just the way that she could lay down that speech and just move the crowd and just, I mean, it was just, I'm sure she practiced it 50 million times, but it looked like she just pulled that off the top of her head because it was from her heart, and probably was. And just, she can do no wrong in my eyes.
I would just say one more thing. I feel like as much as like we're all kind of, I don't really know, I will say that I think that if Oprah were to run and become president, she would be, honestly, for the first time, the true realization of what I personally think forefathers tried to say and do with the presidency, claiming that any man, any person can be president of the United States. Even though, I mean, on a certain level, they had like some elitism in there. That's why the Electoral College exists to begin with and that kind of thing. But I think that her being president would actually be the full embodiment of that for the the first time. Yeah. And it would be, again, amazing to sort of see. And maybe
it would break boundaries, because in other countries, you know, people always say, oh, if a woman ran for president, could they be handled? There's all these countries overseas that have women that are the head of their country
for
years, and that's just such a backwards concept to say, oh, can a woman handle being a president, when there's she'll probably be dealing with more of her own self in other countries. Yeah. But Oprah has a warmth and a spirit about her that can break break boundaries, and that is the power that I think she brings universally. And being that imagery, once again, as a Black woman, it's so many layers that she's breaking for women.
Yeah.
The Me Too thing now is just boom. There you go. Here you go. Me Too, week 2. Here we can. We're all together. We can do this, and it just changes how people see things.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Oprah because she continues to build and to just, just set the standard. Set the standard where we all need to step up and keep going. All right, we're almost out of time, but this next one is just kind of a mention. I'm glad Courtney put this on the list of topics for today. We know the Winter Olympics is coming up soon, and we have first time in history, first Black woman on the U.S. Olympic long track skating team. Her name is Erin Jackson.
The number one.
She became the third Black athlete to make a U.S. Olympic speed skating team. She's like blowing people away because she only started skating like 4 months ago.
That's what's the
4 months
story?
ago.
Like,
4
what?
months ago.
4 months ago. And you're going to the Olympics?
She's going to the Olympics.
Okay, what type of legs do she got?
That's what I'm like, what was you doing before?
Right.
Like, what were you doing before?
Skill. So that's true Black girl magic right there.
Right.
Now, she started a T-shirt fundraiser, kind of like a GoFundMe account for her father because she wants her father to come see her skate in South Korea. So go support her if you can, donate some funds for that. But you know what? Go Erin, man. That's what it's all about. That's why. Listen, that's what Oprah's set the tone for. There you go. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Black girl magic right there. All right, that concludes our topics today. Trey, I know you got a bunch of projects that you're working on, man. I mean, I had to write them all down. I mean, you got the family business, No More Mr. Nice Guy, Women on the Edge, the choir director. I mean, you keynote speaking, doing workshops, man. What are you like, the Black Ryan Seacrest? You ain't got time to sleep?
I really don't, man. I just feel like it. But no, I mean, you know what? I'm just doing my best to use everything I have to make change. To work my gifts and our opportunities that we can, on the filmmaking side and going into HBCUs and colleges, going like to Art Institute. I'm going to Bethune-Cookman next week to do a workshop with the students there, their communication school, and show them. A lot of people come into this business and they, you get excited and you get out here and you realize, I'm not ready yet. It's true. You're not prepared. But you could be a little bit more if we just stepped in there and show them like how these things that they're learning in school can truly be, worked in the workplace here, and what it takes beyond just the dream, but the execution, the vision, and how to actually make steps to make this thing work. So that's my passion when it comes to speaking about things. So. And
then where can people find out about your projects that you have coming out? Like, where do they find you?
Obviously, you go our website is called. Our company is Tridestin Studios. So tridestin.com, TRIDESTINED. That's our website, and you can see all of our projects coming up. But yeah, look out for the choir director. Be on Netflix this spring. Okay. And the family business will be out as well this year. So those two. Look out for those.
And you can hire this room right here. We all like actors.
Yes. We all like
bring it. You see the fire we bring on this week.
Hard,
we will work hard, work hard. Hey,
we bring it.
We're bringing it.
Yes.
Camilla, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram The Real Camilla P. Twitter, I am Camilla P. And also this weekend.
Don't you have something?
Yes, I have something coming up. So Saturday, January 13th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., I will be playing Lala in a movie called Concrete Jungle. The director is Hala Williams Presents. It's a free movie premiere, so if you want to come out, get some free popcorn, see me, and get pictures, questions and answers. It's downtown Los Angeles, 251 South Main Street, Los Angeles, California. That's at the Independent Theater downtown. And I would love to see everybody. This is one of my first little independent films from being back from having my baby. So the transition is going well.
And her baby is so cute.
She's going
to be a future little model herself.
She's definitely going to be a future model. We're going to get her on the AfterBuzz.
But she need to take her to Sean John. Show her to Sean John.
Yeah. You know what? I need to go ahead and put her in a little. No, I'm just playing.
You gonna put her in the grape ape or whatever the ape.
Put her in a baby ape. I'm just kidding. Yeah, but Y'all great.
Go support her Saturday.
Support her Saturday,
yes.
6. I will hopefully be there.
Yes, please.
I'm excited. Yes, I think I have to work. But anyway, find me everywhere else at Stuart Starlet, all over the Instas and the Twitters and whatnot.
You can find me at Derrial Christon, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and also on Reel's channel, Broken Famous. I just did a new episode, 50 Cent, so check that out. Talk about all his financial woes. And you'll see us next week again. Actually, I won't be here next week, but you'll see others here to talk about some great topics. Thank you guys for tuning in, and happy 2018.
Yes!
We'll see you soon.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Derrial Christon, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.